Barbie shows us a world where women are more equal than men, but that means Barbie Land isn't feminist. So what would a feminist place look like? Fortunately for us, we have some outstanding thinkers who are already exploring this topic. Leslie Kern, who wrote Feminist Cities, Claiming Space in a Man-Made World. It is a wonderfully written book that both highlights the possibilities that a city can bring for a woman, but also the horror of it, and how each of these changes throughout the different stages of a woman's life. She concludes her book with a few things that must change. First is that the faces of planners and architects have to change. We need more women and more diverse women in these spaces. Second is that an intersectional analysis must take place for both big and small changes. The decision of where to place a new school, all the way down to how far apart bus stops should be. Each of these have an impact on how life in the city functions, and each will have a different impact on someone based on their differing identities. These must all be taken into account. Third is looking back to existing or previous iterations of feminist city enclaves. Small sites like Glasgow King Park Complex and Evangelion Women's Shelter in Junction, Toronto, or perhaps larger scale efforts that have occurred during the BLM protests, or the Idle No More movement led by Indigenous women across Canada, or the Focus A15 movement where a group of women refused to abandon their social housing when London City Council decided to demolish it. Ultimately, what a feminist city will be is a place where the heterosexual nuclear family is not assumed default for decisions, a place where family or men are not the sources of economic or physical protection for women, where a woman's autonomy is recognized while also nurturing community and kinship. A place which invites solidarity across gender, race, sexuality, and class, and where the markers of success is not the raising privilege of white women. As a man reading this book, it was quite revealing to me. I'm of course not oblivious to my life being different to that of a woman, how I may not need to walk through the streets with my keys between my knuckles. If you are a male designer though, I cannot recommend this book enough to you. For women though, I think this book becomes a much harder read, in which you may have to relive some of your worst experiences. However, I do believe that it will heighten your understanding of these experiences. Having recommended this book to several women in my life, this is what they ended up telling me. In my last short, I showcased how there is a gender issue in the demographics of architects. Feminist Cities showcases the world that this causes and pushes us to bring more diverse women into the space of architecture. My next set of shorts is going to follow some groups who are actively doing that now. If you want to see these groups a bit early, check out the video on YouTube.